Good evening. This is Sama and another episode of Sama's Kitchen. And tonight I would like to share with you some tricks that I've found over the years of how to make the cooking process of cooking my own meals more efficient and making it fit into the busy lifestyle that often can be overcoming. And when we don't have time to make, an elaborate meal, or if we think it needs to be elaborate, it can become a barrier to cooking for ourselves and eating healthy foods. And so I wanted to share just a couple of the tools that I have gathered over the years, just because it's been so important for me to have home-cooked meals for my own health. I just was not willing to, I've not been willing to settle for the detriment to my health that came from eating processed foods or, the foods that are available in a fast and easy way. Fast foods just did not agree with me. So I've learned over the years how to make my own quick and easeful meals. So one tool that I recommend that everyone have for this purpose is a pressure cooker. Now, this is a modern day pressure cooker. The company name, you can't really see it on the bottom there, is Eternum. It's spelled A-E. The A and the E are sort of joined along the back of the E and the side of the A. A-E-T-E-R-N-U-M. It's made in Italy. It's a bit pricey. Here's the lid, and it's different than the old-fashioned pressure cookers, because as you can see, the lip of the lid goes under the lip of the pot. And then it has this wonderful latching handle on the top. It has a toggle steamer thing, and it has this red little pop-up thing that locks, although it's really unnecessary, because if this was under pressure and I tried to open this, it would stay sealed like this, and it will only drop down when the pressure was released. So there's no danger of the kinds of explosions that make the other kind, where the lid sort of latches around the outside edge of the top of the pot. If it were to wiggle loose, it could explode or things like that. The only thing that sometimes does happen is that this is a safety release valve, and it's a rubber valve that will pop through if the pressure is too high. And then it doesn't explode because, as you can see, it's under here. So it doesn't like send the bean stew all the way to the roof. It just sort of bubbles out and lets you know with a loud steaming sound that to turn off the fire and deal with it. So it doesn't have the dangers of the old style pressure cookers where you'd have bean stew all over the ceiling. And on you if you were in the kitchen, which could be very dangerous. So this is a safe and easy to use pressure cooker that literally cuts cooking time at least in half, often more, especially with beans. Now, the difference between eating canned beans and homemade beans is so wonderful. The canned beans often have ingredients that I don't like, added salt, oil, things that, eaten on a regular basis. And plus, the flavor is lost. The process of canning beans so that they can stay on the shelf for a long time without going bad takes a lot of the nutrients and the flavor out of them. So making your own beans from dried beans, or even if you can find fresh beans from a local farm, they're dry, but they're maybe harvested that year instead of who knows how many years. They cook way faster and they have way more nutrients, freshness, of course. And cooked in the pressure cooker, well, let's compare. Cooking dried beans on the stovetop in a regular pot usually takes, not including soaking, usually takes about 3 hours. In the pressure cooker, 10 minutes tops. Often quicker, depending on the freshness of the beans. So it makes making your own homemade beans realistic. And not only that, the pressure cooker retains more of the nutrients of your foods. So it retains nutrients of the beans and the vegetables as well. A lot of the nutrients from the vegetables, when we cook them, escape in the steam. And this with the pressure, puts the steam back into the vegetables, puts nutrients back into the vegetables. So more nutrients and more flavor are retained. So, for example, if I were steaming a big batch of vegetables on the stove in a regular pot, it would take 15-20 minutes. In the pressure cooker, 1 to 2 minutes tops after it comes up to pressure. Actually, with certain things, 1 to 2 minutes tops from the moment I get the vegetables in there to the moment that, and turn on the fire to the moment that I turn it off, open it up. 1 to 2 minutes tops. Other vegetables might take 1 to 2 minutes after it gets up to pressure, which may take 1 to 2 minutes, so 4 minutes tops. So as you can see, it's cutting the cooking time down more than half. And I also wanted to share with you a recipe book for pressure cooking called Great Vegetarian Cooking Under Pressure by Lorna J. Sass. And it gives all of the timing information you need, lots of delicious recipes, wonderful combinations, things that you can make in the pressure cooker, and how to make them. So this is a great resource. Lorna J. Sass, Great Vegetarian Cooking Under Pressure. She also has a Cooking Under Pressure that's not vegetarian. So, 2-hour taste in 10 minutes. Okay, so that just gives you an idea. We're making delicious, nutritious food in 10 minutes that without the pressure cooker would have taken you 2 hours. So this is an essential tool for busy people who want to begin to cook food for themselves and have a healthier diet. So that's the first tool I wanted to share with you. Another tool, if you don't have a pressure cooker, another tool that's really helpful is a crock pot. Now, I don't have one now because I have a pressure cooker. Actually, I do have a crock pot. I'm sorry, I take that back. What I have is 2 of my favorite time-saving cooking tools in one. The other one, besides the crock pot, is the rice cooker, okay? So this right here is a combination rice cooker and crock pot. So right now I have rice cooking in it. And I put the rice in, I program it to cook brown rice, and 45 minutes later, or however long later, it will keep it warm. So I can put it in there in the morning before I go off and do whatever I'm doing in the day. When I come home, it's warm and ready to go. It has a timer even. So I can set the timer to start cooking an hour or so before I know I'm going to be home. But I don't have to be precise because it will automatically keep the rice warm, even if I come home later or I didn't get the timing quite right. I can also set it up to have hot grain ready for me in the morning for breakfast. I set it up the night before, set up the timer. In the morning, I wake up to the smell of a warm grain ready for me to add whatever I'd like to add. Raisins. You could even add them the night before and it will stew the raisins in there with that grain, whether it's rice or quinoa. And an easy, simple way to have a nourishing breakfast ready for you in the morning when you wake up. It also doubles as a crock pot. So there are settings on here to cook things besides rice. So it makes it really easy to set something up in the morning before leaving for the day. Chop up a bunch of vegetables, whatever other ingredients you want, even beans if you've soaked them the night before or done a quick soak, which I'll share with you. And set it up, set the timer to cook it, and when you get home, your meal is ready to go. You don't have to be cooking at the end of your long day. And if you work from home, it's easy to set it up in the middle of the day when you have a break, at lunch, whatever, and let it cook while you continue your work day, and then it's ready for you at home. So these are some tools that make it a little bit easier to cook meals for ourselves and get into healthy, loving, homemade cooking habits when we're busy. So I hope this was helpful for you, and if you'd like to learn more, please subscribe here to my YouTube channel. I also have many other services available on my website at www.lightspiritbirthdoula.com, where I support people through transformations of all kinds. Whether you're birthing a new baby or a new career or a new lease on life, I can be your light spirit birth doula to support you through that process. So, I hope to see you soon, and many blessings.